I still can't believe what happened. I'm out here in the deep woods of the Pacific Northwest, miles from any town, and I've just had the most surreal experience of my life. My hands are still shaking a little. I came out here following up on some local legends, some strange tracks that were reported a few weeks back. I've always been a skeptic, but I'm also intensely curious. You never know what you'll find if you don't look, right? So, I packed my gear, set up a base camp, and started my search. For days, it was nothing, just the usual sounds of the forest, the beauty of the untouched wilderness. I found some interesting animal tracks, some signs of bear and elk, but nothing that screamed unexplained. I was starting to think this trip was a bust. I was ready to pack it in this morning. Actually, the fog was thick, the air was damp, and my supplies were running low. I decided to take one last hike, a final loop around a ridge I hadn't fully explored yet. That's when I heard it. It wasn't loud. It was a soft, whimpering sound, almost like a lost puppy or a kitten. It was faint, and at first, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. But it was persistent. A little cry, then silence, then another cry. It sounded distressed. My first instinct was to find the source. I'm a huge animal lover, and the thought of any creature being in trouble out here just tugs at my heart. So, I started moving towards the sound, stepping as quietly as I could. The sound led me to a small, hidden alcove, a sort of cave hollowed out at the base of a huge, ancient cedar tree. It was covered in moss and ferns, almost invisible unless you were right on top of it. And there, huddled in the back, was this creature. I stopped dead in my tracks. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. It was small, maybe the size of a human toddler, covered in thick, reddish-brown fur. It had these huge, dark, soulful eyes that just stared at me, filled with fear. It wasn't a bear cub. It wasn't a primate I could identify. It looked exactly like the descriptions. A baby Sasquatch, a baby Bigfoot. It was shivering, and it looked so weak. It let out another one of those tiny, heart-breaking whimpers. There was no sign of a mother, no other tracks around except for its own tiny ones. It seemed completely alone. All my skepticism, all my scientific reasoning, it just flew out the window. All I saw was a terrified, helpless baby. I slowly backed away, not wanting to frighten it further, and went back to my camp. My mind was racing. What do? Do I call someone? Who would even believe me? They'd probably try to capture it, put it in a lab. I couldn't let that happen. I remembered I had some mashed bananas and some softened oatmeal left from my breakfast supplies. It was gentle food. Easy. I also had a bottle of fresh water. I know you're not supposed to interfere with wildlife, but this felt different. This felt like a rescue. My gut was screaming at me to help. So, I put some of the mashed banana on a spoon, grabbed the water, and very, very slowly, I made my way back to the little cave. I sat down on the ground a good 10 feet away and just waited. I didn't make any sudden moves. I just sat there, talking to it in a soft, calm voice. "Hey, little guy," I said. "It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. You look hungry." It just watched me, its big eyes never leaving my face. After what felt like an eternity, I slowly extended my hand, the spoon with the banana on it held out flat on my palm. I moved at a snail's pace, inch by inch. It flinched at first, pulling back deeper into the shadows. My heart sank, I thought. Okay, this was a mistake. I'm scaring it. I held my position, not moving a muscle, and then the most incredible thing happened. It slowly, hesitantly, took a step forward. Then another. It sniffed the air. It was so close now I could see its little nose twitching. It looked from the banana to my face, then back to the banana. And then it leaned forward and took a tiny lick from the spoon. I barely breathed. It tasted the banana, and its eyes went wide, almost in surprise. It took another, bigger lick, and then it started eating, little mouthfuls, right from the spoon in my hand. I started tearing up. I couldn't help it. This wild, legendary creature, this myth from the heart of the forest, was sitting here, trusting me, eating from my hand because it was starving and alone. The connection I felt in that moment, it's impossible to describe. It was pure. It was real. It was just one living being helping another. After it finished the banana, I poured some water into a small bowl I brought, and it drank eagerly. It seemed to have a little more energy after that. It didn't retreat back into the cave. Instead, it just sat there, looking at me. It wasn't scared anymore. It looked grateful. I sat with it for a long time, just watching it. We didn't need to speak the same language. It was a communication that went way beyond words. I know this sounds crazy. If I didn't have the footage on this camera, I wouldn't believe it myself. But it happened. I fed a baby Bigfoot. I know I have a responsibility now. I can't just leave it here. The mother is clearly gone. Who knows for how long? It's too young to survive on its own. So, I've made a decision. I'm going to stay. I'm going to watch over it, make sure it's safe, and try to help it get strong again. This changes everything. My whole view of the world, of what's possible, has been completely turned upside down in the span of a few hours. This isn't about fame or proving anything to anyone. This is about compassion. This is about protecting something precious and unique. I don't know what the future holds, or what will happen tomorrow. But for tonight, I'm a guardian. I'm going to set up a discreet camp nearby, keep watch, and bring him more food. I'll keep you all updated. This is just the beginning of the journey. Wish us luck. Thanks for watching.